Hey, guys. Welcome. This is Masajati for Moss on Sunday. And today, again, first of the month, what we do is we do a world frequency meditation where we all get together, the power of numbers, right? The mastermind, where we all get together and we meditate. We meditate on, say, the greater good, the more fantastic self of who we are, the possibilities of who we are, all the limitations that we've set upon ourselves. Basically, we allow that to release in this meditation, so we can be, or we can take back the power that we've given away to others, to it's political systems, religious, spiritual systems, families, whatever it is, whoever it is, getting back that power and taking it upon ourselves to, well, do good, be the best possible self that we can be. Again, it's all about taking back your power, not giving away your power or sacrificing. And that's what these world frequency meditations are all about. So, and the more people we have, so spread the word, like this video, uh, connect to the channel. And as we, again, get more and more, somebody's talking about my fuzzy head. Yeah, it's growing in pretty good. Might have to shave it again. It was kind of a cool feeling. Uh, some of you, I guess there was a woman that shaved their head as well, so that's kind of cool as well. So it's a great beginning, and that's why I shaved my head, by the way. All right, but anyway, it's about literally bringing back the power, taking back the power that we've given away, or that we. Um, um, a lot of times, we think we've given away our power. And that's what we'll talk about right now, I guess. Let's take a deep breath in, and we'll just start into the meditation. And along with the meditations, by the way, I start seeing what's happening for the future. So it's a great opportunity for us to also predict or have future vision. But with that future vision, it's not just normal predictions. I'm not a psychic in any way, but what happens is that as we say expand ourselves, and as we take back our power, what is about to happen could change for us. So we start to see, instead of seeing, say, a linear path, because most people aren't awakened. Let's take a deep breath in, and didn't want to get into the science, but what the hell. Uh, a breath in, just noticing your chest, your heart space. So, according to Einstein's law, an object in motion tends to stay in the path that it is. It goes into the straightest or most efficient path that it is, unless there's a bigger object or another object that collides or changes its course. So these world frequency meditations is literally about, say, changing the course of humanity, because what we've created in the past dictates what happens in the future if we don't, say, have an awakening, in this case, or taking back our power, as I call it, to change, say, the course of which direction that we're going. So we'll just keep recreating whatever is ahead of us. Again, because it's the same path. Many of you in your lives have experienced that as well, right? From XI, you start to see the path that you were on, and then you start to go, shit, I don't want to be on that path anymore. So as a system, as a whole, as a population, we need to go, shit, we don't want to be on that path anymore. We don't want slavery again. And for example, slavery, let's take a deep breath in again, and we'll get rid of all that stuff. And these world meditations are not just about the group here. It's about, say, an impact that we have in the world. So we bring in the consciousness of the world as well to awaken. And we've got enough people that do exponential intelligence or are becoming exponentially intelligent that can make a dramatic impact. Like one person awakened at a certain level can, have effect on hundreds of thousands or even millions of individuals. So let's take a deep breath in again. Um, as I was saying, and I've opened up, and some of you who are new, again, you might go, well, this guy's all over the place. He didn't finish his thoughts. He didn't finish his sentences. I will. But what happens is, again, our brain is not linear. So in this session, let's work on not just enhancing ourselves or expanding the world or say bringing love in. It's not those kind of meditations. It's literally about regaining who your power is, and then love is an after effect. And that's why a lot of meditations that are out there, they're really fantastic. They're well-meaning, they're good-hearted, but again, they don't really say change or transform the world, because we didn't change ourselves. We're just extending, or we're sacrificing, say, our love, our gratitude, our self, our faith into, or we're letting that, extend that out and giving it to others, which means that we have less. And overall, when we do that, what happens is that we deplete ourselves. Hence, we start taking back, and this is where the world is getting really, really greedy, right? And it's non-functional. The more help that you give out, the more burden, basically, that you say take on to help others. Over time, it accumulates, and you sacrifice yourself. And as you sacrifice yourself, take a deep breath in. Um, you run out of yourself. You run out of, say, that essence or that presence that creates you. And this is what the world is coming to. We're running out of that, say, essence that has created us, and we're in lack. So even if we have, say, the most advanced technologies, the highest medical, say, possibilities, instruments, and all these breakthroughs in medical technology, there are more ill people. There's more sickness than ever before. So, and that's the underlying reason, is again because we are, say, giving away, and we're not really supposed to. We're not supposed to do that at all. So these world frequency meditations, as you take a deep breath in, is about, again, taking back, bringing back the essence, the purity that you are. And as you bring that purity that you are, you shine your light upon your loved ones, the world, and your light. Again, your light casts a brilliance, and that's how you transform people. So this isn't about this isn't about individuals going, well, I'm not going to help anymore. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you help people in a different way. That's all. Take a breath in again. A couple things that I opened up. One is the way we learn. So this isn't just about, again, a meditation to help the world. It's a meditation to help you all, and then that's how we help the world, right? The man in the mirror, basically. So we'll work on, say, logic, and we'll work on, say, learning. We'll work on, say, activating your brain sequence. In today's society, we are a linear society. One foot in front of the other. One task has to be complete before we move on to the next. Take a breath in again. Just notice your brain. In the way your brain works, your natural uh, say biology of your brain or your learning mechanisms of your brain is that your brain is always interacting in and around itself. There's thousands of, say, different thousands of different, say, inputs that your brain, your sensory perceptions, and beyond uh, take take into account, and then create or render the reality that you are. So as you take a deep breath in, what we've done as a society, what we've done to our kids is focused it into, say, a linear path. And when we do that, we just start to destroy our capacity for expansion. We start to destroy, say, our capacity for learning and creativity. Take a breath in again. Just notice your brain. So, in this meditation, let's work on, again, expanding the possibilities of who we are and regenerating or relearning how we learn. Okay. So notice your brain, notice the brain stem. This will also help those individuals. Again, I'm not claiming I'm a doctor or I'm not claiming I cure you in any way, but as you awaken, I do claim that I do help you awaken your natural, say, healing self, your natural, say, potential for growth and expansion. As you do awaken, though, you might actually, in this case, heal, say, effects of the brain, whether it's, emotional or physical, or again, from what I'm seeing, um, imbalanced chemicals due to, foods, toxins, pollution, whatever it might be, or just stress. Breath in again. So we're going to do a couple things in this meditation. We're also working on the masses to awaken. So if you want to bring in, say, a political figure, a leader, uh, uh, um, somebody that you want to bring into the meditations that has, or that has, um, say, a following that can affect, other individuals as well. It could be, an Instagram. Um, Somebody on Instagram that has, millions of followers. It could be, an entertainer, a famous individual, again, that has millions of followers that follow their lead, so to speak. So bring them in, and then as they, say, ascend higher, their following, their followers will ascend higher as well. And again, that's how we transform or change. Back to our learning process. Our brain is created as a three-dimensional or multi-dimensional apparatus. It is a piece of equipment, if we really think about it. And it doesn't learn linearly. Again, it's a multi-dimensional learning. The way I teach, for some of you who are new, you might go, this guy's confusing. This guy, again, doesn't finish his sentences. And it might bother those individuals that need to, say, complete themselves and then move to the next step. So in this case, I open up, say, possibilities and avenues for you, all around you, especially as I tap into the group, hundreds of people online here. Thank you for that. And then I leave those possibilities open, and this allows, say, your function of the brain for it to understand and expand itself. Or some of you might be confused. Confusion leads to higher intelligence. Your brain is searching for a higher, say, or a better solution. Hence, you're confused. If you weren't confused, you're basically lowering your expectations and just understanding. Again, as you notice your temple, you're understanding or you're comfortable with your knowledge that you currently have. Hence, as you elevate yourself, you will be confused because your body is, or your brain is decompartmentalizing what you've put in cubby holes, if that makes sense for you. Which again creates expansion, creates intelligence, creates creativity. So that's what we'll be working on as a individual level. On the other aspect, as you say, expand that intelligence, you take back the power that you've given away. And this is huge, by the way. Breath in, just notice your jawline. Notice how you're feeling. There we go. For those who are new, we always get new people. I'm not going to get into my story. There's enough information on the web on this channel for that, so you can read about or you can listen to previous YouTube videos on that. For now, you can just forget about all that and just focus in on, again, your brain, the brain stem, your spinal cord, and then your vertebrae, especially at the neck. I see a lot of you with, say, either tension or neck issues, and your brain doesn't it doesn't relay it disrupts the nerves between body and brain, and then your brain starts to get mixed signals. So work on that as well. The other aspect, so we do a lot of things on this Moss on Sunday, first of the month. We set the month up. We set it up so we can expand it as a whole, as a population, as a species. Breath in again. As I was talking about earlier, an object in motion, right? Remember that aspect. So we'll talk about that piece. An object in motion, or a society, or a consciousness, or a species, again, going into a certain direction, right? A mastermind tends to recreate, again, the next step forward. So we've lost control of creativity. We've lost control of, say, guiding our future. Again, technological advances, fantastic, but as humans, we're still in the same, let's just say, shithole that we've been for decades, or actually for hundreds of years. We've just created more comfortable accommodations. Simple as that. And that's what we use our technology for. And it limits us. So we're more comfortable being lost, being uneducated or unintelligent. We're more comfortable giving away our power. We're more comfortable, and the more comfortable we get with the technology that allows us to do that, the more, say, distorted we become. And then this is where we come into, well, extinction. We can't survive as a species. And then, like other cultures that have, well, destroyed themselves, what's happened? They go extinct, right? So other cultures, other civilizations, breath in again. Says Billy here pointed out Newton's first law of motion. Thank you. Inertia. So we as a whole, we need to say move. And then this is where possibilities can happen for us. This is where we don't have to recreate from the past. You, for example, when I said that you give your power away, you remember when I said that, right? And again, I leave those things open for you so you can think about it. Your brain cannot close up. And then move to the next fact. Your brain stays, say, open and searches for deeper meaning. And that's what's key. It searches for deeper meaning. And if you practice this process enough of confusion, that search will take it back to its original connection to your higher self. Some of you might call it your spirit. I would call it your timeless being, your timeless self, your ever presence. Breath in again. So, as a species, what we've done is that we've, well, lowered our standards of self. And then we cover that stuff up. Um, and then we create pretty words to cover the shit that we've gotten ourselves into. Um, and we just have to, like, say, face the facts. So as you notice your heart, your chest space, and then take a deep breath in, just notice your chest space. Notice the muscles, if you're a woman, breasts, and then go into, again, the flesh, and then go into your ribs, and then go into the surface of the lungs, and then go into the interior of the lungs, and then just keep going into the back of the lungs, your heart as well. And then going through, like if you had x-ray vision and you're seeing all these layers, going back into, say, again, the flesh, the ribs, the flesh, and then out into the muscles and then to the skin. So again, if you had x-ray vision and you could just see right through the layers, right through. If you were see-through, at a frequency level, we're all see-through. Hence, we are seeing through all the bullshit that we've created. It's one of my abilities. I see through all the stuff that you're not and help you recreate who you really are. And that's how you say shift and transform. That's how many of you have recreated your life. Breath in again. Some of the words that we use to, again, placate ourselves or cover up or equalize. For example, um, friendly fire. It's a military term. Friendly fire is basically you shot your own team and then, your own soldiers got killed. Bottom line is that you killed your own people. But we cover it up with pretty words, friendly fire. The bottom line is you shot and killed your own people. That makes sense to you. White lies, for example. Or, in religion, um, what is it? Say in religion, um, it's almost like it's okay to sell yourself or sell your soul, right? What do they call that? I'm forgetting now, but let's see. We'll come up with it. And if you guys come up with it as well, comment in. Friendly fire. Let's see. Ethnic cleansing, another term. It sounds really nice, doesn't it? Ethnic cleansing. What does that mean? And sounds really great. Ethnic cleansing is basically killing off people of a certain culture or color. Simple as that. Uh, yep. Yep. Um, breath it again. Yeah. Another word for ethnic cleansing is genocide. Sad, isn't it? Um, global warming. It is global engineering. It sounds great, doesn't it? Global engineering. Basically, it's just manipulating through, chemtrails and so on, uh, the weather patterns. And again, and it gets, deeper and deeper. Equal opportunity. It sounds really nice, but overall, what's happening is that we're forcing everybody to be equalized, and nobody can expand and come into their greatness. And then those are who are, say, weaker individuals, because we're always going to have, an array or, weaker individuals to stronger individuals. Equal opportunity is that we all have equal opportunity to be our grandest version of who we are. But what we've done in today's society, again, is equalize everybody. And then again, it's very destructive. We should all have equal opportunity to be our grandest, best self that we are. Okay? Breath in again. World Health Organization. Yeah, I don't want to get into that, but exactly. It's interesting about the World Health Organization. Um, Wherever they crop up years after, those areas have uh, some of the strangest diseases show up or new diseases show up, and hence for more vaccines and so on like that. The other thing, um, goes deeper into, again, equal opportunity. I want to talk about that, bringing it back to the individual, is that we start to forego who we are, the preciousness of who we are, and then we start to say, uh, depreciate or deprecate who, um, what our differences are. We start to equalize women as men, and that's fucked up because women are women, right? So take a deep breath in again. So let's get rid of all that stuff, right? And come back into let's come back into our own, say, presence of who we are. And then when we start to do that, we don't have to have rules or regulations or laws or anything like that to equalize opportunity. We just naturally are. And then we see the blessings of being a different color, being a different sex, being a different age group, being a different religion. And that's the key. When we say mush that up into, say, one big package of equality, again, equality to me is turned into a negative word because of all this negativity around it and all the bullshit that's around it. Again, we're all, uh, and it's well meaning. Take a deep breath in again. So let's send the true waves of that throughout the world. Again, when we fight for equality and everybody has the same standards, again, in this physical realm, it doesn't make sense because we came into this physical realm to experience all the different possibilities of who we are. So, our natural evolution, our natural state of being, our, say, integrity, the reason why we came here to explore all the possibilities of we could be, now we're forcing it to equalize ourselves and be, say, vanilla, one standard frequency. And it destroys a lot of individuals. It destroys the weak, it destroys the strong. And again, we become one singular, say, identity, all of us. And this is where Marxism, communism, and all that didn't work out well. Now we're doing it as a, say, species as a whole. Everybody's the same. Doesn't work out well. It hasn't worked out well. For thousands of years, that kind of system didn't work out well. It's not going to work in the future either. So again, that's why I hate equality, right? We should be blessed or look at blessings or the differences of people. So let's open that up for you as, again, as we work on the brainstem. And it gets worse, by the way. We teach our kids. There's no grade system anymore. The kids can't even recognize reference points. We're destroying reference points of who we are and where we are. And again, it's not about your kid being stupid or your kid being super intelligent and all that. That's the grade system shouldn't be about that. But it's turned into now we equalize and everybody gets an A, right? There's no reference points there. Everybody gets a prize. There's no reference. Everybody gets an award, right? For their inadequacies, whether they're intelligent or, on the other end of the scale. Take a breath in again. Again, it destroys our chance to, say, bring our power, our original power back into ourselves. Okay? That kid might be graded, and that's another thing as well that we need to, say, work on or awaken the social system. Kids are, say, graded. Take a breath in, and if you have children, notice your children as well, even if they're older. Or nephews, nieces, and young kids in general. Basically, what we're doing is that we have a grading system, for example, and that grading system is based on, say, reference points that have no value or no meaning. And then when there is no value or no meaning, again, the education, they got an A in history. What the hell does that mean? Right? How effective is that for that person? And then, it messes up the person because their identity gets destroyed because they weren't good in history, for example. And then, it messes up that identity of who they are. Just because they weren't good in history, they should still get a prize, for example. It's not a big deal. As we take a deep breath in, what we should be doing is, again, enhancing the individual identity of that person. That person might not be great in history. That person might be great in, say, physics or in art or in theater or another, say, aspect of themselves that, say, we haven't even figured out yet. So that's the key. That's what the educational system should be, is to enhance ourselves. But we've all gone through that educational system. And again, what have we done? We've compartmentalized our identity of who we are, right? And that's the after effects of our educational system. So take a deep breath in again. And then what do? We create laws and so on like that to perform, again, equality. And this is where internal strife, this is where being politically correct, I hate that word, being politically correct. So you're forcing yourself or others to be nice on the surface level, but deep down you're still thinking of the same old bullshit. Simple as that. You're just covering it up, right? So that see-through that I was talking about, well, all that shit's coming up to the surface. All the hatred, all the distortions that, again, has been pent up. is coming up to the surface. You can't hide that anymore. And that's one of the predictions that I have for you these coming months. A lot of that stuff that we buried, as far as equality, will come up to the surface. Breath in again. Also, I saw, earthwise, I see land masses falling into the ocean. So you'll see a lot of that happening as well these next few months. Breath in again. There we go. Uh, um, Necessary evil in religion. Again, which really fucks things up. Um, and I'm not against any religion or any spiritual movement or anything like that. But again, if it's messing you up, you're probably not following the great leaders that created those religions or were named after those religions. Breath in again. Notice your brain stem, your uh, your skeletal system, bit in knowledge, necessary evil. What that means is, or what you basically are saying is that God's word isn't good enough. It's not adequate the way God is intended for you to be. So you have to dip into, say, the pot of, say, Satan, if you believe that ideology, necessary evil, right? So God basically, or your religion that you believe in, needs the necessary evil of Satan to survive and, say, create of this reality. How idiotic is that? No offense against any religion, but again, push upon those, say, belief systems that have just been, say, penetrated or impregnated you into your consciousness, and you just take it as is. So why would God, an all-knowing God, an all-knowing being that will create anything and give you limitless possibilities, would have to dip into a necessary evil to render you here as whole? Does that make sense? Take a deep breath in. So those are the things that in this meditation will start to, say, break apart for you. And then you start to see how you've been, say, manipulated. And not just your lifetime, but you've given away your power. Your parents have given away their power to render you as a complete being. Their parents did the same thing. Their parents did the same thing over and over and over again. So, how many generations back have they given away their power to render you here? So, by the time, again, you were created or you were born, over 90% of your potential was taken away from you. Think of it that way, right? You're just a product of evolution. Again, Newtonian's first law, right? The next thing forward, the next step forward. Again, you're just a product of your mom and dad's integration. Humanity is a product, again, the next step. We have to change that at a core level. And that's what exponential intelligence is all about. Breath in again. For many of you, especially who've been on the XI journey, you'll see freedom. Many of you, again, comment in the freedom or the expansion that you're feeling. And this will, say, transcend or come through in the lives that you live. For some of you who are on the other extreme, your life will feel like it's breaking apart because all the lies that you've lived will have to break apart so you can live the truth. So wherever you are on the scale, again, just observe Right? Don't go back to your old version of self and then see it from that old version as you change or go forward into your new beginnings. Just observe, and then you'll get guided into the newness of who you are as you take back your power. I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. As always, guys, notice how you notice what you notice. And as you notice what you're noticing, if you're not liking what you're noticing, do something about it. I can change. Okay. For those who can stay in this space, highly recommend it. For those who can't, take a deep breath in. As you open your eyes, staying or coming into this reality, you're noticing inanimate objects, the chair, the wall, whatever it might be, as you notice a body part like your chest. For those who want to move forward, 18 days, again, many of you are familiar with 18 days. Those who aren't, you can always go, or the team can put a link on the 18 days. 18-day meditation starts, let's see, tomorrow, actually, March 6th. Yeah. Yeah. So it starts tomorrow, the 18 days. Guys, again, it's the fastest way to transform your life in 18 days. Really transform, decades of transformation within those 18 days. And then also new frequency amplification meditation that's coming up March 20th. That's coming up for you as well. All right, guys, spread the word. Give this meditation to other individuals who might be, say, seeking or searching as well. And as always, like I said, notice what you notice and then notice the details of what you're noticing. All right, peace.